The deponent, there it is, the deponent.
I
said it again.
William Dafoe's at it again. His mortal enemy.
Too fat to be a martial art. No, I'm not. Sammo Hung. I'm in. Let's
Yeah.
go. Sammo Hung and for the most part Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Like
he's also, but the thing is with Steven Seagal, he's also like 7 feet tall.
yeah,
So.
no, definitely an intimidating dude. And I'm not sure. There's a lot of people digging on his actual legitimacy, how legitimate he is as a martial artist.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's still like
No, he's still a giant.
pretty scary dude. I forget. I was watching a comic one time, and they were talking about. They were revealing to everyone Steven Seagal has a cop show now. I forget if this rings a bell to you. This comedian.
No, there's a...
And he's like, you know, the comedian, I forget his fucking name, but he was like, oh, you know, he does that, and he's like, can you fucking imagine, like, you're out there drinking one night, and, you know, you're being an asshole, and then they're like, oh, come on, and then Steven Seagal is there?
He comes
like,
and you get arrested by Steven Seagal.
Yeah, like,
and you're not going to try anything.
He was like, how do you handle that? Like, mentally. He's like, I'm not about physically. Like, even if you're not being violent, even if you get stopped or something else.
Casey fucking Ryback.
Mentally, how are you handling this?
Casey Ryback from Under Siege is here arresting me right now. And I don't know how to fucking take it. So I'm just going to cry.
I'm in a movie right now. Like, I am one of those guys. I'm an extra.
Yeah, I would cry. I really would. But considering, like, if you look up him, he goes to China, Japan.
Yeah, he loves
and he does...
He loves
master
the culture.
classes. Yeah.
He does.
He speaks the language too.
Yeah, which is a feat in itself. Like learning another country's martial art is one thing, but if you're willing to learn the language, like that is something that'll make you want to shoot yourself. No,
exactly. And he's deeply rooted in the culture, and he gets the bad rap for the cheesy, even though they're B movies, they're B blockbusters a lot of the time. Like Under Siege 2, Hard Target, Marked for Death. They were all like B action movies, but they're all super popular. You know, they're all crazy popular.
Yeah.
And he's an Aikido master.
Yeah,
that's his martial art. The deponent. There it is, the deponent. I said it again.
William Dafoe's at it again. His mortal enemy.
William!
Oh, we're doing a Kickstarter right now, and we're gonna get Steven Seagal and William Dafoe, and they're facing off.
And they're facing off. So like that's starting off.
He's the villain.
Yeah.
He's the villain. We're gonna make a series of martial arts movies where William Dafoe is always the villain, and he plays himself.
Yes. He plays Willem Dafoe as Willem Dafoe.
And it's all a front. Like, it's just...
He's actually just some evil asshole.
Fucking triad. Like...
He's actually really missing a pinky, and he's all tatted up and shit.
Oh my god.
Well, if we haven't guessed, we're talking martial arts today.
Yeah.
Talking about the application, because, Warren, you've studied kickboxing and a couple different martial arts. I've studied a few in my time on this planet. Nothing to even come close to saying that I could kick someone's ass with it. I would just use the fact that I'm normally about 100 pounds heavier than most people I run into.
That's it.
So I just give to daddy.
That's it. It's the art concept of it. Yeah, like, not that it isn't effective, but you really have to commit. If you want to be using that, you don't want to learn too much of one thing. Like, or too many things, because then you're not ever going to use it.
Precisely. And that's why we're talking about it, and why we're podcasting. It has been a topic of discussion, both the application of the martial art and also the use of it in cinema, and that's the appropriate thing for the podcast here. And it's a genre of film that, along with horror, I just grew up literally watching it whenever it came on TV. I didn't give a shit what it was. I didn't bother learning what any of the films were or anything until a point in my life where I could actually give a shit.
Yeah.
But it was just like, oh yeah, no, there's dudes flying around and kicking each other, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's it. As a kid, that is like where you are pure enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
You're not thinking, well, of course after you watch the movie, as much as anyone will tell you not to try any of that stuff, straight away you're in the backyard fighting invisible ninjas.
Yeah,
just like
you're throwing down, jumping off the porch,
like,
spraining your ankle.
This is karate now. Like
this, we're acting.
Yes.
We're acting. But
I love it.
I think that's a great point. To go into the enjoyment factor of it. Also, when you're that kid, you understand that there could be, you don't understand, but you have this clear depiction in your head that this is different somehow. Because we also grew up watching action movies of, somebody like the other end of the spectrum, where like Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Or Mel Gibson, if he's not Riggs if he's not playing Martin Riggs, who was a special forces guy, blah 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 blah. He knows all the killer shit, as Murtaugh would say, all that killer shit. But it's not just walking up to someone, punching them in the face, or using a gun, or in any way, shape, or form like that. It's using this art form that you've studied. And a lot of the times the movies are about that. The movies are about like that guy that's, unless it's stylized something like The Matrix or any of those types of movies where it is the movie. But the greatest martial arts films are the films that use the martial art as a part of the story, not necessarily the focus of the movie.
Which I'm sure they would have to be if you are like gonna have a character who's really badass. It's gonna be a huge part of who they are as well.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah,
like Bruce Lee and everything. Yes, those were all kung fu martial arts films, like Enter the Dragon. As a perfect example.
Yeah.
The Big Boss. Game of Death, all the greatest unfinished masterpiece, Game of Death, and where he fought one of his students, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was kind of you knew you were seeing a martial arts film, but the filmmakers themselves were saying, okay, this is a martial arts film, but we're going to put the story in here, and just so happens that the protagonist solves all of his problems with martial arts.
Yeah.
It's not like, I'm Keanu and I suddenly know Kung Fu, and this is how I'm going to, it becomes like this weird sort of juxtaposition in the movie instead of it being a part of the storyline, which I always thought American martial arts films, I'm not disputing films like Undisputed, or The Transporter, or those films, but the real true blue Japanese martial artists and martial arts films, there's just something about them that they're different.
They are.
In every single way. Like they even could be about the same thing. Like you have a movie like The Protector with Tony Jaa, and you put that against a movie like Man on Fire.
Yeah.
Like the original Man on Fire,
Yeah.
or even with Denzel Washington, the Ridley Scott. I think it was Ridley Scott film. Correct me if I don't know. Fact Checking Kills podcast. Let me know.
Yeah.
If you put those two films together, they're basically plot wise the same. They are a man using these skills to defeat something, but they could not be more different films.
Yeah.
Past that. So like, the guy I would like to talk about, me personally, is Tony Jaa, because he's the current, not necessarily current, like he's Ong Bak and they all came out in like early 2000, but he was like when I discovered him late, like 2011 or something like that. I was hanging out with a whole bunch of people that were way into that, far more into it than I ever was.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, you gotta watch Ong Bak. You got to watch Ip Man with Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
You got to watch The Protector. You got to watch this dude who is doing it like Jackie Chan and like he's Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee. He's the guy doing all the stunts and everything, but he's also the unmitigated badass.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the elbow to the head in Ong Bak is like this guy's like 7 feet tall.
I know. Yeah.
And Tony Jaa just leaps up and elbows him on top of the head and knocks him out.
The first scene in the movie with the kids climbing the tree.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's that.
Yep.
As soon as that movie starts playing, you're like, I'm in.
Yeah, no,
Like,
totally.
I'm in right now.
Totally and completely, without anything. Like Tony Jaa, and he's also the stylized dude as well. You got guys like Donnie Yen, who made his presence known in Rogue One.
Yeah.
And amazing casting there. Didn't see that coming at all.
No, that was.
But when he played Ip Man, the Ip Man is the guy who taught Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
So, and you were talking about the tiny Bruce Lee.
Yeah, I loved it.
Hey, will you train me?
It.
No.
The little kid, and I don't know who he is because I know there was lots of talk in the sequels to that there was arguments about them CGI-ing Bruce Lee to be there,
Yeah.
and there was loads of, I think his actual family were saying that they would not want that to happen, but the little kid that they cast, just because you're so into it at that point, because it's very near the end of the movie, and like, especially if you don't know beforehand what's going on, and then you see this little kid, and they didn't show you him, and then when it turns, and you're like, who is this? Like, you're like, without being racist, you're not instantly looking at this Asian child and being like, he looks like Bruce Lee. You're not.
Yeah.
But as soon as he does and he pops his chin out, and it's just like, that's fucking, like, that's insane. He did such a good job. He had like 3 seconds of screen time, but that kid stole the show.
Yeah,
like,
that entire movie.
that impersonation.
Was absolutely perfect. Now we're speaking a lot about Asian martial arts films and everything, and the implications they had on American cinema. And we also started this podcast talking about Steven Seagal, and we had there's a clear line between those two films, but also guys like Chuck Norris and Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's not an American actor, but he made American films.
Yeah.
That even with their brilliant fight, you can see a clear delineation between the two.
Yeah.
Like
it's weird, isn't it? Like with them, it's considered an action movie.
Yeah.
That's the genre it falls in, and
Yep.
that's the line between them and then. But if Donnie Yen made the same movie, it's a martial arts.
Yeah,
movie.
it's a kung fu. It's
Yeah.
a kung fu film. Like that's very strange that's a very strange realization that it's all under the action movie genre. But if you go on Netflix, you can find kung fu.
Yeah.
And it's not with the other action. It's not even if you search action, those movies aren't in there.
Yeah.
And I just love. I always thought like it was kind of a clear. You could see, like Bruce Lee, there was plenty that came before, but Bruce Lee made it like badass.
Oh yeah, no, people argue like everywhere. Like in person, online, everyone will say, anyone talking about Bruce Lee, you'll get like the MMA guys saying it was bullshit. You'll get the very, like the fucking, the connoisseurs of martial arts movies be like, well, this guy did that before him, and it was very popular before them, but you can't argue the fact that, it's just it is a fact that it didn't blow up until he crossed over. Until he crossed over, I'm not saying it didn't exist, but it wasn't what it was.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be what we have now. Netflix wouldn't have that category, if that never happened.
You were absolutely right. Yeah, when Bruce Lee came in the short time that he was a movie star, because people only really think about that short period of time where he was making movies. But
Yeah.
there were these, there's this time when there's a framing aspect of it. There's a time before it when he was learning and kicking people's asses, just being a dishwasher and stuff like that. Then there's the movies, and then he gets severely injured, and then the whole almost like Bruce Lee Foundation type of deal with the institution of Jean Cousteau and all that stuff. When he wrote the book, and a great to see this is Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, which is one of my favorite story films.
Again, it stays true to the genre of a kung fu movie because it isn't 100% accurate because it knows why you're watching it. Like, you want to see some dramatized stuff. Like, I personally would watch a Bruce Lee origin story that was, maybe more slow paced and stuff, but I ain't gonna argue the fact that I enjoyed every bit of action they managed to pump into it. Like,
precisely. Like, yeah, that was when I saw that rekindled the like for that. The second that I saw that, I went back and watched like the Five Deadly Venoms and the original Drunken Master, and I rewatched all of those films just because it gave you a clearer vision of the style and the intricate parts of those movies in a more modern setting, so you can kind of see where it all came from in a clearer setting. Because a lot of those old kung fu movies, the best part about them is the fighting.
Yeah.
there's
the story
not very well acted. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I really did like the early Bruce Lee ones where now you couldn't, because I would bet my fucking head off my shoulders that you don't know someone who can do what he can and look as good on camera doing it.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, like, the quality and the shooting arrangements of the actual filmmaking is terrible. Like, it is like if me and Jason were to make a movie and we'd still have to spend some money to get another camera.
Yeah.
But it's like the shots are taken and it's pretty grainy and stuff.
Really,
but like, there's thousands to millions of movies in that quality shot, independent movies.
Yeah.
But none of them are as captivating as that. Like, if you can watch a movie in that quality and with these shots of, the storyline they try and push in, and you don't care about that. Like,
no.
You watch it, but like, it's like it's a testament to the man on screen to make that interesting.
And it really shows you in those movies how much they cared about showing the art itself. Because there'll be scenes in those films that are just incomprehensible for storyline, but once it gets to the fighting and that camera pulls back, there's so much care taken in these angles and shots. And back in the day, doing things in one take, doing things in one shot.
Yeah. Like, now we still have to do choreography in movies, but nothing near to what these guys... Like, there is people now, like, I know Daredevil did that very intricate one long shot, and, like, I know a lot of people have redone that, but it's less common, I would say, than, like, back then. Again, the filming movies, especially in that genre, was literally, like, the camera's there, and it's going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
So you guys just...
That was the big thing with... That was one thing that most of Bruce Lee's films sort of made popular, was the long take, was the wide shot where you saw the action happening. And in a lot of modern movies like The Protector, which is one scene that we that I was second that I showed that to you and you went and saw it and everything. I mean, that's just, could you imagine that? Like, they started on A, and they went all the way to Z, and if any point in there they messed up or someone screwed the pooch, they had to go back to A.
If that was a video game, it would take you, like, easily a month to complete if you were playing it every day. Most of us have to work, so more than that. But, like, it was really cool to see that element of that. Like, that's totally what I thought when I'm watching. I was like, this is like a video game. Like,
yeah, and it's shot that way. It's almost shot in third
and
person.
to anybody out there who makes video games, you need to make a fucking awesome, intricate, like free roam almost, or like martial art movie where you do exactly that. Just watch The Protector and see that sequence and be like, I want to play a game like that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to play a game where every level is just a fucking tower block
And you
you
just
have
go.
one life.
Yeah.
And you just go.
keep going.
And I don't want it to be easy, like super like button bashing, like, you know, have some of the triggers and shit to do lower or blocking and
Mhm.
high attacks, hard attacks, stuff like that. Like, so you can really play it differently. So if I was to play it, I would play it differently to how you would play it.
Exactly.
You know, like that would be awesome.
You could even like choose your fighting style, and you have to fight
Oh,
within
shit.
those parameters.
And then you know, you can get the rights to it. Get play as your favorite kung fu martial arts person too. Right?
Exactly.
That, oh my god,
That'd
we're
be
on.
awesome.
I'm gonna cut that out because we don't sell that idea, right?
That'd be great. There's a Kickstarter.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, I can't even make a postcard, let alone a game. But there we go.
Final thoughts. Do you have like a go-to, like
Like
the movie that there's a whole like a popular trope for movie lovers is that you have, you know, 50 movies in your top 10.
Yeah.
But if you had like a go-to martial art film,
Well, it's hard because like at the minute I am on the Donnie Yen bus right now. I'm like
Totally.
going back and watching all the ones that I've missed of him. That was really awesome.
mm-hmm.
But I don't want to pick that because I know, you know, that now he's obviously looking way better than the other ones because it's new and
Mhm.
it's like crazy. But I don't know. I'd have to say, and it's maybe a weirder pick. I like Who Am I? Who Am I is one of my
That's a
favorites.
great-
It's
that's
one
a
of my
great
favorite
Chan
kung fu
film.
movies.
Mhm.
Just because all of, like, he's famous for doing it in all of his movies, but I feel in that movie, like, everything is just so circumstantial. It's
Mhm.
like the clogs that he's
Yep.
running down the street and he slips into them.
Feels good.
Yeah, and he's like on the cobbled street, and then the ladder, and he gets it through the dude's earring,
Oh yeah.
and just all those bits where it's just like
He almost gets hit by the bus.
Oh,
Slides across the street and almost gets nailed by the bus.
the
like,
end scene with him coming down that building, and that
Mhm.
was completely real. Did it all
Yep.
himself. Like, that's a legit.
Did it all
badass.
himself. Mine would have to. Mine's tough, but one that I'll always sit there and watch from start to finish. It's going to be another Jackie Chan. It's the Legend of the Drunken Master. It's the sequel to the Drunken Master.
Yeah.
It's that one, or, and this is a newer film, Kiss of the Dragon.
Kiss of the Dragon.
Kiss of the Dragon is a Jet Li movie. He plays a inspector, like he's like the dude,
Okay. Yeah.
and he
I'm buzzing.
travels to his home. He's I forget that one. Yeah, the Kiss of Romeo Must Die is the other one that came into my head, but
Yeah.
Kiss of the Dragon. He's an inspector. He's a police officer, and he's trained in this martial art that has to do with acupressure and acupuncture, along with all of his other
I think I have
styles.
seen that.
Yeah, it has. I forget the name of the girl in that movie, but there's a female. She's a prostitute, and he ends up. Well, she's a prostitute not willingly. They have her daughter, and she has to blah 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 and do all this, and it's the whole French inspector and everything, who's actually the bad guy, and tries to frame Jet Li, and Jet Li, like, he doesn't know exactly who he's dealing with. This French inspector, he doesn't understand exactly what's going on here, and the police that are on Jet Li's side are almost trying to explain to him, like, listen, he has no family, he has no friends, he has nothing to lose. Don't give him something to fight for. And they give him something to fight for. And do you mind, like, have you seen it?
It sounds crazy.
The best part of the whole film is this French inspector is such a fucking dick. He's a complete piece of shit, and he's behind everything.
Yeah.
And he has the little girl with a gun, and it's basically the time in The One where he goes, the second that you pull that trigger, I have all the time I need to kill you. But he doesn't say that. He lunges for him, he gets shot in the arm, and he ends up behind the inspector with his mouth on his neck. And the inspector goes, I got you. And he said, yes, you did, but I also got you. And the inspector lunges for him and can't move. He's like, what'd you do to me? And he's like, I put a pin in your neck. It's like, that's it? He's like, I put a pin in a very specific place. Very forbidden. It's called the kiss of the dragon. All the blood in your body rushes to your head, and it stays there. It never comes down. And then you'll start to bleed from your eyes, from your ears, even your mouth. And then you'll die. And he walks up behind him. He's been calling him Johnny the entire film. And he just looks at him and he goes, my name's not Johnny. And he pulls the pin out. And the guy fucking dies. It's fantastic. Like it's done in the new martial arts style, but it's like the fight sequences. Like at one point he fights an entire gym of people. Like me telling you what the end of it is not spoiling the film.
Yeah, no.
At all.
I'm gonna watch it. That'll be my next
Kiss of the Dragon. That's one for everybody to check out.
My recommendation is Donnie Yen, because I'm on a kick right now. It's just called Dragon. We're on a dragon theme, so I thought Dragon, fucking crazy. I'm sure the guy who plays the detective in that movie is prominent. I am not respectful enough to know the guy's name, so but he does a good job, and it's like a noir detective movie. That is, the guy comes in and he's figuring out a guy got killed in a fight in this small village, and he's trying to figure out what happened. So he's putting the pieces together, and so he gets the story, and so you see the sequence of what he got told, and then slowly it reveals what actually happened, and it turns out, well, I'm sure you can piece it together, so I'm not going to spoil it. Yeah, it's not like a huge spoiler, but yeah, it's a really cool mix between two styles of movies that works really well. You've got like a guy playing detective and a guy playing kung fu, and it works really well.
Right on. Well, do yourself a favor and go watch some martial arts films and get inspired to try to break a board with your leg or your head or something like that. And we'll see you next time.
That's it. Oh shit. That got real.